There is a truth that has been hidden from you, buried deep beneath layers of expectations, of conditioning, of fear. To be a real woman is not to be perfect, to be pristine, or to conform to any ideal image that the world has carved out for you. To be a real woman is to accept yourself in your entirety, your light and your dark, your brilliance and your shadows, your strengths and your vulnerabilities. For too long, society has demanded that women be good, be pure, be gentle. And in doing so, it has cast aside the parts of you that are fierce, that are bold, that are unapologetically powerful. But true strength comes not from suppressing your darkness, but from embracing it. True femininity is not about perfect smiles or quiet submission. It is about stepping into the fullness of who you are. Even the parts of you that you have been taught to hide. The light, the part of you that is nurturing, compassionate, creative, and radiant, is the part of you that the world loves. It is the part of you that everyone praises, that is applauded for its kindness, its grace, its ability to care and give. But this light cannot exist without its counterpart. The darkness, the side of you that is fierce, that is untamed, that is bold and unyielding, has been demonized. We've been taught to hide our anger, to stifle our desires, to turn away from the power that comes from standing in our full, unapologetic truth. And so we live in a world where women have been told they must be light, but have been stripped of the permission to be dark. We've been told that strength is only gentleness, that power is only softness, that success must come with a smile, that anger is destructive, that ambition is selfish. But the truth is, real power comes from embracing both your light and your dark, both your joy and your pain. Your light is your gift to the world. It's the love you share, the kindness you offer, the beauty you create. But your darkness is where your real power lies. It is the part of you that will never apologize, that will never bow down. It is the side of you that fights when no one else will, that stands tall even in the face of adversity, that creates boundaries, that protect your peace, that says no when the world tells you to give, that dares to be ambitious in a world that prefers you to shrink. If you want to be a real woman, if you want to step into the fullness of your being, you must stop running from your darkness. You must embrace it, because only when you accept both your light and your dark will you ever fully know yourself. There's power in your shadows, in the parts of you that you've been told to reject. Your darkness is your strength. It is the fuel that propels you forward when your light feels dim. It is the fire that burns when your path seems unclear. It is the deep well of wisdom that you tap into when you are no longer afraid of your own intensity. The darkness does not make you weak. It makes you real, it makes you whole, it makes you powerful. And it allows you to be human. The fear that we have been taught to feel about our shadows is the very thing that holds us back from living as our most authentic selves. What if we stopped being afraid of what we could become if we let our darkness shine as brightly as our light? A woman who has accepted both her light and her dark no longer seeks validation from the outside world. She knows she is complete as she is. Her power comes from within, from the acceptance of her whole being. She doesn't shrink in the presence of others. She doesn't apologize for who she is. She embodies every part of herself with grace and confidence, because she knows that both light and dark are needed for her to thrive. The real danger is not in expressing your anger or your ambition. The real danger lies in suppressing your feelings, in ignoring the parts of you that are desperate to be seen. When you push your darkness away, you are pushing away a part of yourself that holds immense wisdom. The most powerful women in history have been those who were unafraid to stand in their full, unapologetic power, those who knew that they could be both nurturing and fierce, kind and strong, loving and bold. When you embrace your darkness, you no longer fear being misunderstood. You stop seeking approval because you have nothing to prove. You stop dimming your light for fear of shining too brightly. You stop hiding parts of yourself, and in doing so, you become the most authentic version of you. You begin to live with a freedom that comes only when you are no longer at war with yourself. This is the true meaning of feminine power. It is not about being perfect. It is about embracing every part of yourself. The light that gives and heals, and the dark that fights, protects, and demands respect. Both are equally powerful. Both are equally necessary. You see, the world will always try to tell you what to be. It will tell you that women should be soft, kind, gentle, and forgiving. But it will also punish you when you are too soft, too kind, too gentle. It will expect you to shrink when you rise, to be small when you dream big. But the woman who accepts both her light and her dark is not afraid of any of it. She stands tall in her truth, knowing that she is both the warmth of the sun and the ferocity of the storm. When you stop running from your darkness and start accepting it, you will find that you are no longer controlled by it. You no longer feel the need to suppress your emotions, to hide your ambitions, to apologize for your intensity. You no longer feel the need to fit into the narrow box the world has created for you. Instead, you create your own box, one where all of you, light and dark, joy and pain, softness and strength, can coexist. This is where true liberation lies, in the acceptance of your entire being. The woman who accepts her light and her dark is a force to be reckoned with, because she is unafraid of herself. She knows that to be whole is to embrace every part of her, even the parts that others might label as too much. She knows that she is not too much. She is everything she is meant to be. So, stand in your power. Embrace both your light and your dark. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You don't have to fit into anyone's box to be valuable. You are complete as you are, and the world needs every part of you. When you stop running from your darkness, when you stop fearing the parts of yourself that you've been taught to hide, you unleash the full force of your potential. And nothing in this world can ever hold you back again. When you allow both your light and your dark to coexist, you unlock a power that others cannot even begin to comprehend. You stop being defined by external expectations. No longer do you seek validation from a world that demands you to fit into neat, comfortable categories. You are no longer afraid to express your needs, to assert your boundaries, or to take up space in a world that often tells you to make yourself small. You've realized that your light is not a weakness. It is the compassion that heals wounds, the love that transcends barriers, the gentleness that nurtures growth. But equally, your darkness is not something to fear. It is the force that drives your ambition, the courage that pushes you to take risks, the boldness that tells you to speak up even when the room falls silent. The truth is, both your light and your dark are needed for your growth. It is through facing your fears, embracing your anger, and understanding your deepest pain that you find the depths of your strength. The light you carry cannot shine brightly without the contrast of your shadows. You need both to illuminate the world in your own unique way. Think about the women throughout history who have shaped the world. They were not simply the embodiment of light. They were not passive, nor were they meek. They had the power to stand tall, to demand their space, and to fight for what they believed in. They carried within them a fierce, unapologetic energy, a balance between their nurturing sides and their untamed power. Take women like Frida Kahlo, whose art came from the depths of her suffering. She didn't shy away from her pain, but transformed it into a raw expression of identity and resilience. Or look at Maya Angelou, whose powerful words shaped generations, not because she conformed to expectations, but because she embraced every facet of herself, the wisdom gained from her struggles, her triumphs, her light, and her darkness. These women did not fear their shadows. They used them to propel their voices into the world. When you accept your darkness, you find your true potential. You stop apologizing for your desires, your anger, your ambition, your needs. The voice inside you that has been silenced for so long will begin to rise. It will say what you've been too afraid to speak. It will express what your heart has been aching to reveal. You will no longer hide the full depth of your power. And here's the secret. The more you embrace your darkness, the more your light will shine. The more you allow yourself to experience the full spectrum of your emotions, the more authentically you will live. No longer will you be ashamed of your anger or guilt or sadness. No longer will you feel that you must be perfect, because perfection is a lie. Perfection is a myth designed to keep you from stepping into your power. Real power lies in your authenticity. It lies in the courage to show up as your full self, knowing that you are not defined by any one emotion, by any one experience. Your light and your dark, your joy and your pain are all part of the masterpiece that is you. When you accept that, you unlock the most powerful version of yourself. No longer will you allow your dark moments to pull you down. Instead, you will find strength in them. You will use them to propel yourself forward, to learn, to grow, and to become the woman you were always meant to be. The parts of you that once made you feel weak or ashamed will become your greatest source of empowerment. Your darkness will be your armor. As you walk through life, you will no longer be afraid of rejection. You will no longer feel the need to please others at the expense of your own well-being. You will stand in your truth, and when you stand in your truth, you stand in your power. No one can take that from you. Not society, not the expectations of others, not the limitations that have been imposed on you. You will also learn that embracing your darkness doesn't mean living in it. It means transforming it. It means taking the parts of yourself that you've been taught to hide and using them to fuel your growth. It means creating boundaries that protect your light so you can continue to thrive without being diminished by the weight of others' expectations. You will no longer feel the need to suppress your power for fear of being too much, too loud, too bold. You will embrace your fullness. And when you do, the world around you will shift. You will become a force of nature, unapologetic in your truth, powerful in your authenticity. You will command respect, not because you demand it, but because you are unwilling to shrink into the shadows anymore. When a woman fully accepts both her light and her dark, she becomes unstoppable. She becomes a force that cannot be moved, cannot be contained, and cannot be ignored. Her presence is felt in every room she enters, not because she is loud, but because she is fully herself. And the more she embraces her full range of emotions, the joy, the pain, the pleasure, the sorrow, the more she becomes the woman she was always meant to be. This is the power of wholeness. This is the power of embracing all that you are. When you stop running from your shadows, when you stop fearing the parts of yourself you've been told are too much, you become truly free. You break the chains of self-doubt, of shame, of guilt, and you step into the fullness of your own existence. So, embrace your light, but never be afraid of your dark. To be a real woman is to accept both. Your light and your dark are not opposites. They are the two halves of a whole. They are both integral to your journey. Without one, the other cannot exist. And it is in their balance that you find your true power. The woman who accepts both her light and her dark is the woman who can walk through fire and come out unscathed. She is the woman who cannot be broken, because she knows she is not just her light. She is not just her dark. She is both, and in that truth, she is unshakable. And now, it is time for you to step into that truth. It is time for you to stop hiding the parts of you that have been silenced for too long. It is time for you to claim both your light and your dark, to stand tall in your full power, and to show the world what a real woman, one who embraces her wholeness, can do. When you do this, you will find that nothing can hold you back. You will become the force of nature you were always meant to be. And as you continue this journey of self-acceptance, you will discover that your power grows with every step you take into the fullness of who you are. The more you embrace both your light and your dark, the more you come to understand the depths of your own strength. You will no longer look to the world for validation, because you will have cultivated an inner confidence so deep, so unwavering, that no external judgment will ever shake you again. Your darkness is not something to be feared. It is the source of your resilience. It is the quiet strength that allows you to endure when life gets hard. It's the fire that burns inside you when everything else seems cold. It's the courage that pushes you forward even when the path ahead seems unclear. Your darkness is your foundation. It is what allows your light to shine brighter, because without the shadows to contrast it, your brilliance would have nowhere to stand. You will find that once you accept all aspects of yourself, you will begin to attract different energy into your life. The people who resonate with your authenticity will be drawn to you. Those who cannot accept your fullness, your complexity, your contradictions, will fall away. You will create space for relationships that honor and celebrate all parts of you, those who understand that your light is not lessened by your darkness, and that the fullness of you is what makes you magnificent. And the world around you will begin to shift. When you fully embrace both your light and your dark, you stop being afraid of what others think of you. You stop shrinking. You stop apologizing. You begin to walk through life like you own the space you occupy. Because you do. You are the embodiment of your truth. And there is nothing more powerful than a woman who knows she has the right to be exactly who she is. You may find that the very things you once feared about yourself, the parts of you that you tried to hide, the traits you thought were weaknesses, are actually your greatest assets. Your vulnerability is your strength. Your ambition is your right. Your anger is your power. Your emotions, in their rawest form, are the fuel that propels you forward. You are not a contradiction. You are not broken. You are a masterpiece in progress. And every part of you, every emotion, every experience is a brushstroke that brings you closer to the woman you are meant to become. The world cannot define you, and no one else has the power to dictate who you should be. Only you get to decide that. As you continue to step into the full power of your authentic self, you will find that the things that once held you back, the fears, the self-doubt, the insecurities, lose their grip on you. You will no longer be a prisoner to the past. You will no longer be afraid of your own strength, because you will see that your strength is not a burden, it is a gift. It is a force that moves you forward, that carries you through the toughest times, and that allows you to rise again and again, no matter how many times life knocks you down. You will no longer apologize for your complexity. You will no longer apologize for your contradictions. You will stop pretending to be anything less than everything you are. You are the woman who is both soft and strong, both light and dark, both vulnerable and unshakable. You are the woman who embraces the fullness of her humanity, the joy and the pain, the triumphs and the failures, the light and the shadows, and in doing so you become unstoppable. And this, my dear, is the truth of who you are. You are a force of nature, and the world will never be the same after you choose to stand in your full power. So, from this moment on, stop hiding, stop shrinking, stop apologizing, step into your full, authentic self, every inch of it. Let your light shine brightly, but let your darkness be just as powerful. You are both, you are all, and you are exactly who you were meant to be. Now is the time to embrace both your light and your dark. Now is the time to step into your fullest power. The world is waiting for the real you. The woman who understands her light and her dark is the one who will change the world, and that woman is you. In the end, a truly powerful woman is not the one who only lives in her light, but the one who knows how to accept the darkness within. Both light and darkness are inseparable parts of you. They are not opposites, but complementary elements that make you the most complete version of yourself. When you accept all that makes you who you are, from your strengths to your pain, from your moments of brilliance to your times of shadow, you will find that you are no longer afraid. You become the most powerful woman, one who never has to apologize for her existence, who never has to hide any part of herself. You realize that perfection is not the goal, but acceptance, understanding, and love for every aspect of your being. When you learn to embrace both your light and your dark, true strength will emerge. You are not just light, you are also darkness, and it is this combination that creates an unshakable power. You will stand tall in the face of challenges, never retreat from injustice, and never regret the decisions you make. So, love all that makes you, you. Embrace both your light and your dark, because together they shape your powerful, unique, and indestructible essence. When you do this, you will not only be the woman the world needs, you will be the woman you are destined to become. And that is an immeasurable strength, the strength that comes from being complete in yourself.